Whoa.
The idea is that you follow a colour, so you follow either the greens or the spotties or the blacks or whatever it is.
Okay.
See if you get a bit of chalk on your hands. Look at that, there you go. Off you go. And there's foot ones out here, nice. What? You get 2 hands on the top one and then you're done.
You sure?
Get in a big ball, put your foot up here and then throw your hips in and stand up.
Wow.
Woo! Go with your hands. Oh, close, not quite tumbling.
Whoa!
3, 2, 1, go. I don't know who had it.
Did someone say? That was a good day. Yeah, I learned a few things. I'd never properly done climbing before, so I always enjoy doing new things because it's also good for your brain as well, like to think. And obviously, when you start from zero, you can learn pretty quickly to get at least somewhere. So that was fun. Yeah, they're uncomfortable as hell. So basically you try and get them as tight as possible. I think just for feel, for grip. I guess the more the shoe flexes and stuff, the less kind of tension you'll have in it, and the less feel and probably pop if you're pushing off. So yeah, that's what I understood. But I didn't go as small as I should have because I want to have feet tomorrow morning. Yeah, it was tough. Like the first thing I felt, and I was prepared for this because I've heard people talk about it. Like everyone uses their arms too much when climbing, and not their legs enough, especially when you're beginning. And I think it's just, I don't know, like your instinct. You want to grab and pull. So I felt like a lot of forearm pump, which is familiar to what I've had. Like if I like riding dirt bikes. So it's a lot of forearm, and they lock up, especially if it's new and you're tense. So the forearms were stinging. Yeah. Shauna was great. She was strong, obviously for a job, but I mean I don't need to talk about how good she is at climbing. She's very good, but just the fluidity. It's a great word. But yeah, for me, she taught me good basics, and I think as a coach for my first time, she was great. So I felt confidence under her guidance. Yeah, I felt definitely some similarities. I think with racing, you're always kind of looking ahead. You're looking at the next corner. Or when you're actually competing, it's like you're looking at the guy ahead. What line's he taking? So you pre-plan a lot of your moves or your decisions. And I found that with the climbing today, you're on the current points, but you're looking ahead and then trying to plan the quickest way possible or the best way. So yeah, I guess like forward planning, and you don't really get stuck in where you are at that present time. It's like thinking next move all the time. Yeah, I feel like you can learn from other sports, whether it's the way they prepare for the sport or the training they do. So the climbing was interesting for sure. Shauna taught me a bit about my scapula, because we're driving a lot of the time. We're in this position with our shoulders rolled forward, and it's not ideal. So she taught me a few things, actually, how to strengthen my scaps and how to kind of hold a stronger and better posture. So that was a perfect example. I love Silverstone. Yeah, it's honestly one of my favorite tracks. I just like the high speed nature of it. It's super fast flowing. It's where you can really feel like the downforce of an F1 car. So Copse, Maggots, Beckett's, these parts of the track is really awesome. Yeah, I love basically from Copse, so the old turn 1, that's pretty much full now in a modern F1 car, which is gnarly. And then through Maggots, Beckett's, that's just like left, left. And you feel it, like you feel through your core, through your neck. But it's a good feeling, it's a good pain, and you just want to go faster and faster. So yeah, that arouses me very much.
So I've been climbing for 21 years, which sounds a little bit scary, but yeah, a long time now. I was 4 years old when I started climbing, yeah. I saw a lady climbing on a TV and said, Dad, that's what I want to do. Fell in love with the sport instantly at the age of 3, and then found my local climbing centre about a year later, started on the kids groups, and it went from there. So right now I'm training for the World Cup season and also leading up to the Tokyo Games in 2020. So yeah, that's kind of my goal right now. So today we went climbing. I took Daniel climbing, got him on the wall and got him moving around, and it was lots of fun. He was definitely a lot better than I expected. He could move really well, but yeah, it was a good laugh. How would I rate Daniel for his first time climbing? Tricky one. I'm just kidding. I think he did really well. He was considered and poised and tried really hard, but yeah, he did complain a lot. Daniel was a really, really good listener. If I suggested something technical for him to try, say turning his foot or moving his palm or his hand around, then he listened incredibly well and really adapted like very, very quickly to what I was saying, and ended up doing some climbs that I would not expect people to do on their first time climbing. So climbing is really a full body activity. Your fingers are what connect you to the wall and your toes, but it's definitely a lot about pulling with your arms and using your legs and your core strength as well. So training for me is a lot on the wall, but also a lot gym based and a lot of finger strength work as well, so very specific finger training. So one day I could be doing fingers in the morning really specifically, and then in the gym, lifting weights, throwing weights around, jumping around, trying to keep it really creative and dynamic, because on the wall we never know what we're going to get. And then climbing for me is all about trying to have fun with it and getting the most out of being on the wall, climbing, moving around and enjoying it. Yeah, I think training for me is about 70% fun and 30% serious, so try and work on that basis. Yeah, so we get asked a lot about fingers. They're our connection to the wall, you know, they have to be really, really strong, and it's very important that you put time into working them. So I use what's called a beast maker. I hang off a piece of wood basically that goes above a door frame. I have one in the gym as well, and then hang off like teeny tiny little edges, and then add weight onto my body weight so that I'm hanging with extra weight and build it up over time. And yeah, that's the way we do it. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that for a beginner, but it's something that's incredibly important as an elite athlete in climbing.